What's up guys, Jimmy coming to you guys with another video. Before we get into the video, as always, make sure to rate, comment, subscribe. And when you guys hit subscribe, please make sure you guys are hitting that notification button. So you guys probably saw my last video on how I lace my Nike Dunk Highs. This video is going to be on how I lace my Air Jordan 1s. You guys might be wondering why the hell you're making this video. Those Nike Dunks are basically damn near identical to the Air Jordan 1s. I agree with you, but surprisingly enough, there are people that have asked, how do you lace your Air Jordan 1s compared to the Dunks? And even though I tell them it's the same thing, they just kind of want to see that comparison, that actual look themselves. So this information might sound a little redundant, but you guys will see on how I lace my Air Jordan 1s. I'll say the Dunks and the Air Jordan 1s do have a little bit different look to each of them. So I'm going to lace the 1s the same ways I lace the Dunks, which is one, going to be a very uniform and clean look, and two is going to be a more loose, chill look. And the shoe we're going to be using for this tutorial is going to be the Air Jordan 1 Midnight Navies that came back out in 2020. So getting right into it, we're going to start off with the uniform look. So as always, the biggest thing on every shoe is unlacing everything and making sure your left and right tip are even. I'll say, I think when you get your shoes new from the box and you just buy them from Nike sneakers, they typically will be pretty even on both sides, but it's not when you, it's only when you buy it used is, you know, that person before you might have not really cared, you know, they might have done it a little bit more loosely, which is no big deal, right? Like I said, if that's how they like their sneakers laced and that's how they like them laced. But for myself, I unlace it all the way until the very bottom. I make sure both the left and right are even. And then from there, you can decide whether you want to go over the lace loop or under the lace loop. For this uniform look, for the 1s, I will be going under. And once you've chosen to go under, you lace the shoes all the way up, making sure that each time you pull on the lace on the left and right side, that it's even. And one thing I should have mentioned in the Nike Dunk video is make sure you guys are alternating it. So once you go over once, you want that one to go under next, and then over, under. Basically, you want to give it a really nice, clean, presentable look. And if you guys are deciding to go this look, make sure at the end of every lace loop, you guys pull through and give it a little bit firmer pull just to make sure you're getting all of the laces and there's not any slack left behind. And once you get to the very top, you know how we went under initially, you'd expect for that under to continue at the very end. But what I like to do, especially for my high top sneakers, is at the very end where I know I'm going to tie the shoe, I would go over instead of under if that's what I did previously. The reason for this is I feel like it just looks a lot cleaner on the shoe and it pulls the sneaker, or at least like the top of the sneaker, more conformed into my leg. Of course, don't choke your sneaker. It's never a good look when you see sneakers tied so tightly. You know, maybe their shoes are too big for them, but personally for myself, I thought that look was just always really ugly. So once you guys decide where you want to go over, under at the top, you guys just tie that bow and make sure you guys are getting a perfect bow knot. You know, sometimes you see people tie their shoes and like their bows will go twisted, you know, like you want to get that perfect center bow. It just looks a lot cleaner. And that right there is how you do a uniform lacing technique on the Air Jordan 1 highs. Like I said, this is my personal go-to for honestly all my shoes, whether they're high top, low top. Personally, I just think it looks a lot cleaner. And next up, I'm gonna show you guys how to go with a more looser fit. Personally, like I said, for the Nike Dunks, this isn't my preference, but a lot of people do wear it and they make it look pretty good. A lot of people do wear it and they make it look pretty good. So as always, make sure you guys have your shoes unlaced, bring your laces all the way to the bottom and make sure the left and right are even. And once you have both sides even, you can choose whether you want to go over, under. For this looser method, I'm going to go over for the Air Jordan 1s. And now this time, when you guys are bringing your laces through, rather than making sure you don't have any slack, you want to leave a good amount of slack. The reason being is, right, you want that looser look. You want the laces to kind of almost look like they're floating, and how you get that look is making sure you leave a good amount of slack. A pretty important thing to mention though is you want to make sure you're giving even slack to both sides, right? You don't want your left side to have less slack than your right side, just because then it'll start to look a little bit uneven. And at the end of the day, even though the shoes are a more looser fit, you still want the shoe to look pretty uniform on both sides. So after bringing your laces all the way up, like I said, I always like to go over at the very end where I'm going to tie my shoe. That's just how I personally like how my shoes look. And once you get to the end, you tie your shoe and there you have it. You have a more looser lacing style to your Air Jordan 1s. So there you guys have it, 2 ways on how I can lace my Air Jordan 1s. Like I said, there are plenty of other methods and people have different techniques, different tips, but those are what I recommend to y'all if you guys want to achieve those 2 looks. And it's gonna wrap up the video. Hopefully it wasn't too redundant. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys do on how you guys lace your Air Jordan 1s. Do you guys like it loose or more form-fitting to the shoe? Let me know down below in the comments. So that's gonna wrap up the video, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.